Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We have about 7 more minutes before we get started, and we still are waiting for Coach Matt to join us. I hope everyone's doing great tonight. And I'm going to say this more than once, but my participants who are virtual and online with me, we cannot see your faces and you won't be able to talk to us, but I will be monitoring the chat when Coach Matt is in here presenting. So if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and I will try my best to answer them or to ask Coach Matt about it. It's also very helpful if you have a grown-up nearby that can help you if you need it. And this will be recorded too, so you'll be able to watch it later.
Hey, hi. We have a good number of attendees already this evening. That's fantastic.
Yes.
We're getting ready to make some mazes.
All right, and while Mr. Coach Matt is getting himself squared away, I'll go ahead and just introduce myself again. I'm Miss Katie. I'm from Calvert Library, and thank you all so much for joining us to build some amazing mazes tonight. And thank you so much to Coach Matt for hosting with me tonight with his wonderful company, STEAMakers, where we have our kits from. Let's see, just a little housekeeping things for anybody who's just joined in the last few minutes. Your screens, we cannot see you, we cannot hear you, and that is on purpose, so we are protecting your privacy. If you have questions, you can type them in the chat, but it's also a great idea to have a grown-up nearby who can help you if you need help. And this is being recorded, so that way you can watch it again. After the event, I will email out your grown-up that registered you for the program tonight, the recording link, and you can watch it as many times as you need to if you want to revisit it. All right. Well, without further ado, take it away, Coach Matt.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I'm super excited that you're here tonight. We are going to be exploring gravity and magnetism. And I have a feeling that you probably already know that there's a difference between gravity and magnetism, but how many of you actually could explain the difference between gravity and magnetism? Also, even though you think you may know the explanation, I'm wondering if you really know what you know. Tonight, we're going to explore very quickly an introduction to magnetism and gravity. And you're going to be able to explore on your own, beyond the context of our time together, both of these phenomena using the materials that you have in that kit. What we're going to build tonight is a maze that could be horizontal or vertical. I'm going to go over the basics, but this is a build that you are going to really do on your own. This is not a follow along step by step. I'll show you what I mean in a minute, because you're going to have to make a lot of decisions independent of our time together. I'm going to give you the basics, and pretty soon after that, you will be able to make a decision. Are you going to explore using magnetism, or are you going to explore starting out with gravity? I'm going to share my screen, and I think we'll be able to take it from there. Cool. How about we do this one? I'm going to start here. So Gravity Games and Magnetic Mazes is 2 projects in one. All the materials that you have in your bag are recyclable. You'll be able to use them more than once. In fact, I think you'll be able to use them way, way more than twice. We're going to start with magnetism. Magnetism is a force that is specific to certain materials that in those contexts between those materials, things are either pulled together or pushed apart. Magnetism is not a phenomena that exists all around us all the time. Magnetism is localized, meaning it happens in a very specific material context. You've seen a magnet or something that is magnetic. It seems to stick or repel when it's in the presence of other magnets or a ferrous metal like iron or steel. Magnets make things move. This right here,
looks like squishy.
Yeah, it's a dot. Now, this is a fourth grader who invented sort of a basic maze. And the dot, in this case, goes from one side of the board to the other. But what's making it move? Do you see how their hand is underneath that board? In order to make a maze, we're going to need to explore the properties of magnetic materials. In your kit, you have these things. You have a board or two, and you have foam pieces that can be woven into that board so you can create a maze. I'll play that one more time. This is a basic maze. It has a dot that we've attached a magnet to. Using another magnet, which is a strip of magnetic plastic, you can guide the dot through a simple maze. So your design brain needs to turn on now. Everything we'll be doing tonight is based on traveling through a maze. What's really, really important is that you take your materials out of your bag and start taking them apart. I'm going to share a bit. There's foam pieces, there's sheets of foam with shapes that are cut out of them. You need to pull all those shapes out. It's going to take you a little while. There's no hurry, because remember, I'm going to give you the introduction. You will know enough once I'm done to be able to explore on your own. So be sure to start removing all the foam shapes from those sheets. Then you can put all the extras, all the bits and pieces, back in the bag. It's just really easy to keep track of it if it's all in the bag. If you can find it, there is a magnet. It's a white strip with another magnet stuck to it. Now, if your other magnet fell off of it, it's somewhere in that bag, but typically the magnets are attracted to each other and they'll be stuck together. The small round magnet has a piece of adhesive film on it, and you can expose that adhesive by peeling off a small piece of paper. Once that small piece of paper is peeled off, find a dot that's bigger than that magnet somewhere on your foam sheets and stick it to it. You're also going to want to take all the dots out of your boards. Now, these dots are made of cardboard. You don't need to keep them, but if it's easy, just let them stay in your bag. It keeps the mess from going all over the place. So quick review. You're taking all the foam components out of their sheets. This is going to take a little time. You're going to find a medium-sized dot, and you're going to apply a magnet to it. And then you're going to make sure all the holes are popped out of your two cardboard boards. Once you've done all that, put them all back in your bag so you can keep track of stuff. Important to remember, we want to make sure that that magnet is stuck to a medium-sized dot. If it's not stuck, you're not going to be able to do the magnetic portion of our activity. So once you have all your pieces back in your bag, you're able to start planning. I'm going to imagine that you haven't gotten all that done yet. So you can keep on working while I share the big ideas with you. What this photograph shows is a very basic one board maze. It has a start. It has walls that are woven into the board. And it has a finish. Start, walls, and finish. Now, how did this happen? We're not telling you you need to make something like this, but it always helps to start with walls. That helps define the path. You can see in this example, the walls are made of the foam strips, these long straight pieces. It's easy to weave them right into the board. You can continue adding pieces wherever you'd like. They don't have to look just like this. This is just a suggestion. But you can see that with these long straight pieces, it's super easy just to poke one end in one place and another end in another place and tighten it up till it's flat. It becomes a boundary. Now, there's other kinds of pieces that you probably found in your foam sheets. And those pieces are all different shapes. Some of them have holes in them. Some of them have loops in them. Some of them are blobs with right angles. Some of them are really weird shapes. The example we're using here is very basic. And you can see that there's a path. Everywhere you see the uncovered dots becomes a path. So you can test it out. Your strip of magnet has two different poles. Your little disc magnet also has two different poles, meaning they're attracted to or repel each other in a specific way. So making your dot move through your maze, hooray. But let's say you wanted to, say, make another maze, or let's say you were at home or working alongside someone else that has a maze as well. Did you know that you can combine your mazes together? You can design one maze and then another maze all by yourself and then connect them. Where one ends, the other begins. All of these pieces were designed so you can experiment and explore. And if you want to collaborate, you totally can. You have enough pieces in your kit right there where you can make one part and someone else can make another. Totally up to you. You do that exploration on your own. As you can see, this dot wanders a lot. And then where does it stop? Right there. That looks like a pretty tight squeeze. So things to remember. There is a start, there is a path, and there is a finish to every maze. I've shared a bunch so far. I've shared the basics of using magnetism to push and pull a dot with a magnet attached to it through a maze. This is using forces that are specific to those materials. Not everything is magnetic and not everything can be magnetized. So those materials interact with each other in a very specific way. You can pull them, you can push them, but they don't need to physically touch in order to interact. In fact, you could turn your maze upside down and make your dot move all on its own. Have you ever used a maze that you could do staring up at it? Give it a try. Okay, that's the basics of magnet mazes. Those are flat. They lay flat on a surface, and they're all about weaving in walls. Once you've had some experience weaving walls, then we can go a little bit further. Now, again, I'm just giving you some ideas. We're not going to have time together to work step by step through what you want to design. This is more of a what you could do. For those of you that are like, hey, I'm good with mazes made of magnets, go for it. Now you can just start right on in. But if you'd like to see where gravity gets involved, pay attention now. We're going to pop forward. So with a magnet maze, you can pick a start and a finish. The start in this one is on the lower left and the finish is on the upper right. And then you can make your own design. Start, go through the maze, finish. But what if instead of being flat, we decided to turn something up? Like we could go ahead and connect our boards to someone else, but what if we actually designed something that could go up and down? Gravity. On our planet Earth, objects that have mass are attracted to other objects that have mass. The bigger the object is, the more mass it has, and the more attractive that force is. Gravity is forces that objects with mass have. So the way we see it is small objects that don't have a lot of mass are attracted to big objects like the Earth. And that's why small things fall down towards the Earth. We are really small compared to the Earth. That's why we fall. When we trip, we don't float away. So you're going to create ramps instead of walls so that ball that's in your kit can follow it. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a very simple example. This is a fourth grader making a ball go down a ramp. Pretty simple. There's a place where it stops, and then there's a ramp just above it. What if that path was zigzag zig? This is a three-way ramp. It goes down and then down and then down. It changes direction 2 times before it lands in a hoop. It's standing up. It's designed to go from top to bottom. The only way this will work is if you're close to the surface of the planet Earth and that ball has mass so it doesn't float away and it falls down. And what you're doing is you're keeping it from falling straight down so it follows a pathway. So if you want to do gravity mazes, you're going to need to reuse your pieces. We'll give them a couple names. Those long pieces are now ramps. The short pieces are called stoppers. The ones that look like little dots with holes in them, we're going to call those extenders. You can actually use those to make pieces stick off of the board. And that big thing, we're going to call a hoop. The hoop has a hole in it. It has a couple other smaller holes in it. And the way that we prepare our board is actually connecting more than one together. You can make a big board by weaving in this case, extenders, but you can use just about any part. Just weave them together so the boards stay together. You can see in this example right here, it's just as simple as sewing it together with a foam piece. Overlap holes, and just weave them together, in this case using an extender. Your boards are designed to be used and reused. So there's no right or wrong way at first. You're going to have to experiment. There's another piece in that bag that looks like a triangle. It has some holes in it. You can use that triangle like a kickstand to hold up the board. You can weave that in too. If you take some shorter pieces like stoppers and weave them through 2 of the holes and then right into the board, you can make your board stand. So check to see if it's woven tight, is it standing? If that's what you want. Here's a photograph of an example of what it could look like to make the board stand up. Now you're going to need to design your own maze. I can't tell you what to do exactly. Each of you is going to have your own approach to this, but I can give you some pro tips. In order to make a gravity maze really work, you're going to need a series of ramps. And those ramps might need to stick off the board just a little bit in order for the ball to have a clean path to travel along. You can use extenders to pull and push your ramp, the long ramp pieces, right off that board. And you're probably going to need to put a stopper in somewhere because as you experiment, that ball is going to want to roll right off the end of the ramp and down onto the floor. You need to stop it so it changes direction. And then a hoop where it can stop. Big pro tip, number 1, if you don't remember anything else, start with the hoop and design backwards. We're going to backwards plan this. We're going to start at the end and work our way up to the beginning, testing as we go. It's really important, once you've identified the end or the finish to create a ramp that leads that ball to the finish. And just experiment with that until it does exactly what you want it to do. The ball rolls down the ramp and into the hoop and stops. Does it roll off? Well, add a stopper somewhere as you go at more pieces. You can see this has 3 different pieces that guide that ball. Totally up to you. You make these decisions. But you're going to create ramps that ball can roll down. It's all your choice. All right. It's going to take a lot of tries. Honestly, it's going to take lots and lots and lots of tries. But you're going to have a lot of fun problem solving. So, I want to take a quick look in the chat. Oh, somebody said, can we start? And somebody's already done. Oh my goodness, how did that happen so fast? Your project tonight is now up to you. You have choices to make. Are you going to explore pathways using magnetism? Or are you going to make that ball move from top to bottom using gravity? That is your choice. You are the designer. You are the engineer. And you better get ready to chase that ball all over the floor, because as you go, you're going to need to keep improving it so the ball zigs, zags, and stops exactly where you want it to stop. That's it. That's the basics. We've covered the basics. From here, it's up to you. You're the engineer. You're the designer. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Well, I don't have any questions. And if you don't have any questions, then I'm going to show you 2 quick examples just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Let's go back in time really, really quickly. Make sure you know how to weave that board together. It's really, really important that that board stays stuck. Use parts and weave it with that foam. 2 other pro tips. Remember, changing direction slows the ball down. You may need a stopper to keep the ball from rolling off the ramps. This is a basic design. It uses 1 board. Your design may use 2 stacked on top of each other or side by side. That's going to be up to you. All right. Well, then that's it for this evening. The recording for this will be shared by the libraries a little bit afterwards. I think that, Katie, do you know exactly when that recording might be shared with the rest of the folks that might have come in a little bit late? Well, I know that the recording will be shared soon. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I think we can call it a night. There are some mazes and some gravity games that need to be played. All right. Well,
All right.
It was a pleasure spending time with you again this evening. And I look forward to all of the cool stuff that you're making. I hope that you provide a little bit of feedback to the libraries to show what you're doing at home.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach Matt. And yes, to our friend that asked about the recording, it is being recorded and I will send it out to everyone tomorrow. So don't worry if you came in late, you'll still have access to it. And sign up for next month's Hypnotizers. It's going to be fun.
Cool. Looking forward to it. Have a phenomenal new year. And we'll see you in January, making machines that spin and glow.
Awesome.
Talk to you then. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.